Hey everyone, Kevin A. Creedon, the man behind King Size Customs. Uh, Want to wish you a happy new year, and I got a small video here that I'm doing with my top five acquisitions, my top five gets. I bought a lot of cars this year, and you know, um, they're not in any particular order. They're just a lot of them are cars that I'm surprised I could purchase and surprised that I have. Now I'm gonna do it in a top five selection, no particular order, and then also too, for the rest of you who are interested in slice of life type videos, daily life type videos or future plans, because I know a lot of you guys are here for me, which I'm very thankful that you guys are here for my personality. It seems I get a lot more views on my little life updates versus my car updates, but first and foremost, this will always be a car channel primarily. Whether it's real cars, die cast, dioramas, you know. Um, so I'm not going anywhere. This will always be a diecast car channel. So with that out of the way, let's move on to what you guys have all come here to see. So one of my first big gets, and I always wanted this truck ever since I joined the hobby, and I got a few of them. I think these will be really cool to customize, so you'll see a few videos on that. But I got the Ertl 1990 GMC, and I also have a Chevy version of that. But I want to do some really cool customs. The dually wheels kind of suck a little bit. I mean, it's Ertl. Honestly, to make these wheels look great, all you really need is just a black wash on them. But I want to do more details on that grill. Make it pop, basically. And, you know, got a couple of them that were in price range for me. I mean, really, not sure if my light's going to pick that up, but you have the GMC logo in there. It would have been cool if that was red, but it's not. Sticking with Ertl, I know I'm predominantly known as a Dodge fanboy on this channel. So one of the trucks, anytime I can find them for a good price, I try to pick them up. Now I didn't know this existed, and I got two of them, and these out of the package cars are cars that come with me to work. So, but I didn't even know the red one existed. It is the 1997 Dodge Ram. It's part of their farm country line, and people go crazy for these, and you can kind of see why. To me, what I like about it, why I like this truck, why I always try to pick this truck up, is it's just a honest to God decent replica of a very popular truck at the time. Um, to my knowledge, nobody makes the second gen. Although I'm happy, on this channel, there'll be a link in this video, but I did an honest review of the first generation, the Dodge Ram from '92. It's the Prospector. And then I have the Outback Toys exclusives. There's another video. And those will be linked. And then, speaking of Greenlight, this is one that I thought was really cool. Kind of had the idea to order quite a few of them. So I think I ordered about 3, and then I ordered the case for the selection it was coming in because that had some cool trucks. But, gotta love that Suburban. So, and I think that's really cool. If you guys follow me on Instagram, and if you know me on Facebook, you've seen this truck already. You've seen some pretty decent pictures of this truck. Like I know you've seen pictures of the truck, the tires. So since we're going to stay with Greenlight, one of my trucks that I've always loved, and Earl makes the same truck, but I've heard people say that they're hideous. So I got a little bit of a troll custom that I'm working on for the hideous Erdls, but hey, to each their own. You know, Diecast world is filled with stuff, filled with people, different cars, different tastes. You know, I don't buy a lot of Kato houses, so, or any Kato houses. Not really a big fan of Mini GT yet. There's nothing there that really excites me. So I'm starting to become a Porsche and a BMW guy. So I'm starting to gravitate towards Euro. Even though, you know, living here in the northeastern part of the United States, and, well, technically Maryland, if you want to get into it, Maryland and Delaware are southern states, but, well, Delaware's the dividing line. But anyway, you know, Maryland's still technically northeast, as I slip into my accent that I've been fighting constantly to avoid. But anyway, without dragging this out any more further than it needs to be, I got one of these. I actually have two of these. Sorry, you can see my ring light there, which is another cool grab. I've always been into the blue and white paint scheme on this truck. I looked at didn't look at, but when I first moved to my trailer, I had a Facebook Marketplace short bed Lariat like this, but only a short bed pop up, and you know, had I had a license and the money at the time, I'd have bought that no problem. They were only asking like maybe $2,000 for it, so said it ran good, was garage kept. From the pictures, didn't have any rust. I never went to go look at it because, well, why window shop for something you're definitely never going to be able to buy? So, and then next this is a Matchbox Moving Parts. This would be number 5. So if you notice, there's a bit of a trend here. They're all trucks. Well, 4 trucks and an SUV. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still into cars. I still like Cadillacs, Lincolns, you know, big 70s land yachts. So, but for 2023, these were my top 5. These were the top 5 cars that I've acquired. So, alright. That's it for the car content. If you want to stick around for the slice of life stuff, I'm just going to let it roll right into it. So for the slice of life stuff, you know, I still owe Michael Roundtree 2 customs, and I thank you that you've been patient with me. This is going to kind of lead into what's been going on with the channel. So, we're in the northeast winter, and it does get cold, although luckily for me, it's been the warmest winter. It's been a pretty warm winter. We haven't really broken below 30 degrees yet, but that's bound to show up. You know, we're bound to get a 30-degree winter, and I haven't been doing a lot of videos. You know, car customs, acquisitions. You know, here's what's in my collection. Because I really mentally haven't been feeling that great. As some of you know, I work in the court system for the state of Delaware. Due to certain legalities, I really can't say on here what I do or what my position is, but just, you know, trying to be as cool as possible. We have a strict social media policy, so, and I'm a representative of the Superior Court of Delaware, so I'm limited in what I can and cannot do. Don't get me wrong, you know, it's not a job for me, it's a career. It's not a calling, though. It's a career. So, I get fed up enough, I can leave if I want. I can go anywhere in the state. But I did get a promotion. I had to fight for it. Not super hard, but it's still a fight. And well, sometimes you get what you fight for. I mean, it's a promotion. It's a little bit more responsibility put on me. There's a good amount more responsibility put on me than my coworker, and that's okay. I don't mind. That's why I took the job. You know, it pays the pay. It is what it is. You know, if I could make more, I'd love to make more, but again, in it for the long game. But there are times where I come home on the weekends, and my weekends are mostly spent resting. I've done the most cleaning up in my room today, and I still need to do more. The other big thing is, and I've never said anything on my social medias about this, but I think it's about time. Some of you may know that I used to work at a local Goodwill. Well, that was back in the heat of the pandemic. So, when Delaware was saying that, when critical businesses could come and open up, so there was, there was essential businesses, there was critical businesses. I don't know who thought Goodwill was a critical business, but hey, it's neither here nor there. So during the height of the pandemic, I had three really good coworkers. Well, no, actually, I had two really good coworkers, and there was one that wasn't great. I'm not going to go into detail about these people because I can only tell my story, and I don't want to give up the identities of these people. So, but one of my coworkers put 4 weeks notice in. Let that sink in. 4 weeks notice that he was leaving. My manager at the time thought that the position I was on, and if you've ever been to a Goodwill, you'll understand why. This is a bad position to take. The manager at the time of that location thought it would be a good idea to not try to replace any employees. When we had that guy who would work the door by himself most weekends, and then they would, grab what I used to call a scab, but they would grab a volunteer, somebody trying to do community service. They would grab one of them to go work with him, and then it would be me, a guy who wasn't qualified for the job, didn't have the physical qualifications, and let's be honest, those of you who know me know I didn't have the physical qualifications, but I was getting built, was losing weight and gaining muscle. What I was doing when when it ended at Goodwill was work that I wasn't hardly proud of, work that I was overqualified for, but, it had a lot of good physical effects on me. Anyway, so I was working with two other people, one guy who was really qualified for the job. He was just, in his 60s. Then there was another person who was not qualified for their job. They couldn't lift anything heavier than 25 pounds. Now, what happened was the other gentleman that was my coworker had quit 2 weeks prior to this event that I'm going to tell you about. And he had quit his resignation was basically nothing but profanities to the manager. Now, to be completely candid and honest with you guys, I wanted to walk out with him too. Because the writing was on the wall. One, if you're losing an employee, why wouldn't you think, oh, we're losing an employee, now's the time to hire another employee or start doing interviews when they've put in their 4 weeks notice. So, anyway, again, this gentleman quits. His quitting speech is nothing but profanities. And honestly, I'm trying to put it as nicely as possible, but he basically told the manager what she was and where she could go. And again, I'd have liked to leave with it. But I didn't have a job. I had, anything on the back burner. I didn't really have any possibilities. People I talked to said, it's not as bad as you think, just stick with it. Well, I stick with it, and about a week after this gentleman had quit, I'm with the employee who wasn't qualified to do the job, didn't have the physical qualifications. We're loading a truck with pallets, and on this pallet is a giant box full of books. The pallet was laid down wrong, and the books were on top of this pallet. So, you're going to use a pallet jack to get that on a truck. Here's what happens. I'm pushing the box that's on top of the pallet as the unqualified coworker is pushing the pallet jack. Pallet jack bounces on the trailer's lift gate. The unqualified employee closes his eyes and runs, and I get hit in the leg with 700 pounds at least. And that's just the pallet jack, 700 pounds of metal going 2 miles per hour, and it hits me in the leg. Now, keep in mind, height of the pandemic, we're talking 2020. We're going on to 2024, ladies and gentlemen, and I am still suffering with a leg wound. No, I can't sue, and I didn't ever wanted to sue, because all I would get would be, my job back. And honestly, I just wanted to leave that place in the rear view. I got treated so horribly, and keep in mind, I got this job after trying to find everything else, but I had no experience, and I have a bachelor's degree in psychology. I don't say that to look down on anybody, but I say that just to say that I believe I was just a smidge overqualified to be a donor greeter at Goodwill. When I'm sitting there and I'm working and I'm watching all my friends who have graduated college make more than me. Now, luckily through scholarships and other financial aid, I didn't have to pay any student loans. I didn't have any student loans. I didn't even live on campus. But with that being said, to make a long story short, I'm suffering with a wound in my leg that won't heal. I thought I was done in October, and I was going on a trip with friends, South Carolina. We were in North Myrtle Beach, and 2 days before my trip, 2 days before I'm supposed to leave, my leg wounds pop open. So if you're wondering why I haven't been doing a lot, it's that. I had a slice of life video where I showed you, my grandfather's truck sitting in the driveway, and to be learning how to drive. Now, my permit doesn't expire until another year, literally another year, but because of the pain in my leg and the uncertainty, I haven't been practicing driving. I really haven't been doing anything other than going to work, waking up, going to work, coming home, grabbing something to eat, doing laundry, and then going to bed. I don't want to say that I'm depressed because I'm not a mental health professional, even though I studied that field, but I haven't talked to anybody about my problems. Works, it's, for me, a lot of it's situational. When I had my leg healed from about September to October, well, actually the tail end of August to October of this year, everything was fine. I would go to work, do my job, but I think, as everyone knows, work comes in fits and spurts, where it's good and then it's not. But I've learned to deal with that. I'm trying to fix myself so that I can be better, so that I can make this a fun channel. And I don't want to put out content that's going to just be half-assed. I want to put out content that I would want to watch. Stuff that I feel is worth watching. I know I'm not as big as some of the other car customization channels. I mean, you can name drop whoever you want in the comments. I know I'm not as big as those guys, but I want to say that I put forth just as much effort and as much passion and love into this car community and into my hobby as possible. See, I don't care what everybody else is doing. As long as everybody else is having fun, and as long as I'm having fun, that's all I want. And that's when I'll put a video out. I'll put a video out of customs that I like. I'm only going to do customs that I like. Now, Mike, Mr. Roundtree, you're an awesome dude. That's why that's why I'm doing those customs the way I did. We don't need to talk about, any offers that were made. That's just between you and me, all right? But I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your time. I know it's getting close to a year on that. I only have 2 left. I have your Mustang and your truck. And I got some cool things planned for your Mustang. I got some really cool things planned for your truck, your semi. I think you'll love it. But, rant over. Just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at. I'm not doing great, but I'm doing okay. I'm going to be trying to get better here. I'm going to try to keep a positive mental attitude. And I thank you guys for hanging with me. I'm going to try to put out car custom videos, acquisition videos. I'm just going to try to be better, give you a quality product that I know you guys deserve. Because, again, what's the point of putting out a product if your heart and soul's not in it? There's been some other ups and downs in my life currently that I don't want to talk about, but there is one big thing. And if you guys have been with my channel for a while, you know that I kind of grew my passion in cars with my grandfather. My grandfather's the one who instilled my love of cars. So I did do a tribute video for a car for him a while back. And, well, it's what I'm always... He's been brought up more and more this year than the previous years. And he's been gone. He's been deceased for a few years. It's another reason why I haven't really touched my cars. Why I haven't really done a lot. I love that Hot Wheels and Matchbox are coming out with more classic cars like, 30 Fords and 40 Fords and Plymouths and, all of the stuff. I mean, he was born in 1928. A lot of these cars are cars that he remembers. Cars from the 30s, 40s, 50s. Again, that's why I don't really... He's been brought up a lot. I really kind of poured my heart and soul into that tribute car. I'll also link that in the description too. But, again, what I'm really just trying to say, I know I lost it there, is I'm not going to put out a video where I'm not putting my full heart and soul and passion into it. So that's why I haven't been around. And I hope you guys can understand that. And I hope you guys can forgive me for not being around. I know I've been in this hobby since 2013. And that's when I really started getting into the collecting. About 2014, about a year later, is when I really started getting into customizing. Again, I'm sure everybody's heard it, but it's changed since, it's changed in the 10 years I've been in it. Some positive, some negative changes, but I don't let that get me down. That's everything. So, card collecting, dancing, movies, that's pretty much everything. You will see that in every community. But anyway, guys, I just want to say have a happy and safe new year. I don't know what 2024 is going to look like for me. I got a feeling I might be starting some new stuff. You may or may not have seen a few stop motion videos on this channel. Check them out. Let me know what you think. I really did get into stop motion movie making. I plan on working on cleaning up my room, cleaning out the man shed, just getting rid of cars, and I want to focus on building that super diorama. That was kind of the reason, one of the many reasons we moved to this house and bought this particular house, my mom and I. So, that being said, Happy New Year. Better times are on the horizon. Let's make it a great year. Have a good one. Later.